In the Pokemon world, Pokemon evolved not just by leveling up, but by adapting to their environments over generations. But did you know that regional forms weren't always known to exist? Today, we'll trace the timeline of when humans first discovered regional forms, based on in-game events, research notes, and Pokedex entries. Our journey begins in ancient Hisui, the earliest known period we've explored in Pokemon canon. In Legends Arceus, we witnessed the first-hand documentation of Pokemon that no longer exists in modern times. Professor Laventon, one of the first Pokemon researchers, notes that many species in Hisui have forms unfamiliar to future generations.
Is that a Pokemon? Is that a Growlithe? No, a Vulpix. No, not that either. The tip of its tail is red and swaying. I think it's turning this way. It's adorable! The white fur on top of its head and around its neck is so fluffy. Its eyes are round and yellow. What's that? Ah!
Pokemon like Hisuian Zoroark, Braviary, and Growlithe are observed in their original, regionally adapted states, most of which go extinct or change form by the modern era. The Hisui Pokédex revealed that these variants developed in isolation or extreme environments, volcanic slopes, frigid tundras, and mystic forests. These are not regional forms as we know them. They're the original ancestors. It wasn't until thousands of years later that Pokemon scholars would rediscover the concept. We are told by Professor Laventon that the starter Pokemons in Legend Arceus are from different regions. Could this be the accidental start of regional form? The modern understanding of regional forms began in Alola during the event of Pokemon Sun and Moon. For the first time in recorded history, scientists observed and documented Pokemon from other regions exhibiting completely different appearances, behaviors, and types. According to in-game researchers, these forms evolved due to environmental adaptation.
The Vulpix and Alola migrated here long ago. To survive the snowy mountains, they became ice types.
Alolan Raichu developed its psychic typing due to its new diet, eating sweet Alolan pancake, according to the Pokédex. This adds a behavioral and nutritional element to adaptation. Alola's isolation and unique ecosystem allowed these Pokemon to evolve separately, giving rise to the formal academic term regional form. This was the moment where scientists in the Pokemon world began to take adaptation seriously. The field of regional form research expanded, especially under the guidance of Professor Sonia, who wrote a thesis on ancient Pokemon history. In-game researchers confirmed that Galarian forms evolved under pressure from human development and industrialization. Taking Galarian wheezing, it developed poison-neutralizing smoke filters in response to the Industrial Revolution.
Wheezing's toxins were once a threat, but the Galar variant actually filters the air. Isn't that brilliant?
Galarian Farfetch'd is described as more aggressive due to its intense competition for resources. It can only evolve into Surfet after enduring a long series of battles, evidence of cultural selection as an evolutionary pressure. These weren't just environmental changes, they were societal, showing that Pokemon adapt to human activity as much as natural ecosystems. With the discovery of Area Zero in Paldea, researchers encountered Pokemon that broke all evolutionary logic. These were paradox Pokemon, specimens resembling ancient ancestors or futuristic descent of modern species. According to Professor Sada from Pokemon Scarlet or Professor Tura from Pokemon Violet, these Pokemon were documented through time travel research.
The creature known as Great Tusk bears striking resemblance to Donphin, yet seems far more primal.
These Pokemon are not traditional regional forms, but canon suggests that they are temporal forms. Pokemon from vastly different eras whose physiology reflects entirely different pressures. Their discovery pushed evolutionary science into uncharted territory. Some researchers now wonder, are regional forms just the surface of a much deeper evolutionary web? Lastly, we have Paldean form, the most recent addition to regional form. Paldean Wooper, for example, is a poison ground type, very different from its water type Wooper found everywhere else. In-game, local scientists explain that it lost its aquatic environment and had to adapt to swamps on land.
Their bodies changed to store poison to protect themselves.
This form is still being studied today, but its discovery continues to reinforce the idea that Pokemon adapt rapidly to new conditions, and that regional variance is a constant state of shaping the natural world. From ancient Hisui to swamps of Paldea, the history of regional forms is a timeline of discovery. Scientists slowly uncovering the vast diversity that has always existed, hidden by distance, time, and environment. These aren't just alternate designs. They're records of survival, culture, and adaptation. And as exploration continues, who knows what new forms await discovery? Which regional form do you think has the most fascinating backstory? Let me know in the comments. And subscribe for more deep dives in Pokemon biology and lore.